Hello, I'm Joshua Hannel, and today I will be talking about my ecosystem project. The ecosystem I chose was the desert biome in the Mojave Desert. The Mojave Desert is located in Joshua Tree National Park, and the Joshua Tree National Park is located in California in the United States of America. The Mojave Desert is a very large desert, and and all of it is not enclosed in the park. Joshua Tree National Park is in close proximity to the Marine Corps Base 29 Palms, and the Mojave Desert is where American troops can train for desert warfare in other faraway deserts. In fact, my dad trained there for many years, many times with the Marines and with the Army. Many tourists find the abiotic features of Joshua Tree to their liking. Low precipitation, extreme high and low temperatures, and varied landscapes are some of the tourist attractions in this ecosystem. The low humidity and semi-arid desert temps are some of the best uh, climate temperatures you've ever seen and are some of the appeal of this ecosystem. Varied landscapes can make for beautiful views and memorable sunsets to take some great pictures at. The park sees hundreds, if not thousands, of visitors every year. However, there are some harsh environmental struggles for the abiotic features, such as the frequent high winds, which can cause injury to some people and even discomfort. And this can also affect some of the wildlife in the ecosystem. Very few water sources are also a big problem in this ecosystem, uh, seeing that some of the animals may not be able to survive because of this. Uh, if you are a tourist who is wanting to go there, uh, I would be sure and take plenty of water because you're gonna need it. Uh, the next the next point is the biotic features. And these biotic features are absolutely spectacular. The biotic features of this environment include the plants and the animals. And uh, what else would I talk about except for the Joshua tree, for which the national park is named of? The Joshua tree is not really a tree at all, it's more of a bush. Its actual name is the yucca, and it is pretty much only found in Joshua Tree National Park. Uh, it is found in the densest and the oldest places in this park, and it is the only place where you can find this and the yucca moth, which has an exclusive mutualistic symbiotic relationship to the tree. The tree feeds the moth, and in return, the moth pollinates the tree. Uh, and the moth cannot reproduce without the tree, and vice versa. Some of the alpha predators in this ecosystem are the golden eagles, the bobcats, and the coyotes, respectively. The cactus is one of the best minerals in this ecosystem for the water that it gives and the food that it gives to some of the organisms. You can also find the endangered desert tortoise, the peninsular bighorn sheep, uh, cougars, snakes, scorpions, birds, and even some fish can be found in all parts of the ecosystem. These varied forms of life all have their place in the food chain and the food web. Uh, and each of these have its respective place in this environment. The park has amazing features and some that are not seen anywhere else in the world. The dry lakes are one of the best parts of this place, in my opinion, housing some of the wildlife like scorpion tarantulas and some of the rodents even. Some of the lizards also live in these dry lakes because what they are is they are valleys, uh, just spread out for miles and miles with just cracks in the sandstone, and these creatures hide underneath the cracks to have this uh, to have the shade. The rugged mountains also help with the environment's organisms to help some of the organisms survive and be away from some of the predators in this ecosystem. Um, the ecosystem varies from 900 feet above sea level to 5,000 feet above sea level, having massive valleys and very tall peaks to their mountains. Again, if you go as a tourist, I cannot stress how much you need to take water because some of these organisms are dying of thirst because there is an insufficient amount of water in these parks. These parks, like many others in the United States and in the world, face very serious environmental pressures. Urban sprawl is a very dangerous and important thing that we should take very seriously because it is the development of roads, buildings, malls, stores, traffic, and even people can be in this urban sprawl category. Uh, this category can take a toll on these fragile ecosystems. Habitats can be destroyed or altered in a way that they're unrecognizable and unlivable to the organisms that were there before. This has such adverse effects on the biotic populations of this place, and it's a real thing that needs to be dealt with soon. Warmer temperatures and lower temperatures are some of global warming's effects on this ecosystem. The warmer temperatures of the day can get even hotter and have gotten hotter over the years, and the lower temperatures at night have been have just gotten lower and lower, making for these organisms that are used to this type of type of ecosystem have to change with the ecosystem if they can at all. Competition for water and space is leading to the reduction of numbers and species of this ecosystem. And this is caused by urban sprawl too. If we keep building roads and we keep having people go into these national parks that are closed off from people to build on, if we keep adding to around it, that's going to take away from their environment that they need to survive. Species like the desert tortoise and the golden eye need this environment to survive. Otherwise, they're going to be extinct before we know it. Uninterrupted mountain habitats are essential to the survival of the desert bighorn sheep too. As shown in the food web, the loss of any species can affect the whole ecosystem. Other species overpopulate and deplete their food sources, habitats, and uh, can cause stress on the species if it's altered. And habitats can even be uh, fully destroyed because of the ecosystem changes. This also invites diseases and forced migration to some of the organisms in the ecosystems. This area is threatened by poorly planned energy projects, uncontrolled off-road vehicle use, and minings. Uh, these can also affect habitat fragmentation and permanent destruction of the wild places that these organisms need. Competition for water, human versus nature, is also a major concern. More humans in close proximity to this already dry region may cause the human need for water to deplete the water sources and the demise of these desert species. Global warming is definitely not helping in this fight for water either. Uh, the off road use of vehicles can also cause some of these species to become even more endangered with the facts of roadkill and the fumes from the gas too. So whatever you do, if you go, I would go now and see the tortoises and see the golden eagles before they become extinct. Um, because now is your time if you're wanting to do so. Thank you for your time. And just as a note, I think that Joshua Tree is a pretty cool name for a national park. Thank you.